we can agree that the educational sector is facing a crisis situation. For the first time, we are likely to have all education sector unions undertaking industrial action at the same time, which I think is unprecedented. You have already mentioned, and I've heard my colleague from UTAG, not long ago, I was a very active member of UTAG. I've heard my colleague from UTAG enumerate what the issues are, what has happened so far, and quite clearly, a lack of satisfaction as far as the reaction of government is concerned. You indicated earlier that CTAG and other sister colleges of education unions are also lacing their boots, likely to go on strike. What you failed to mention, in addition to the current strike by the pre-tertiary education sector unions, is that TUTAG, which is the Technical Universities Teachers Association, is also signaling that if they don't see any positive movement in terms of their conditions of service, they are also going to embark on a strike.
Okay.
So that is the general scenario. But more specifically, I think that some of these strikes are entirely preventable if only government, and for that matter, the employer, would be sincere in dispensing its responsibilities to these various unions and their members. Of immediate attention has to be the strike that was announced on Friday, which clearly is affecting over some 8 million Ghanaian students and pupils by the three teacher unions at the pre-tertiary education level. I believe that this matter can be resolved very quickly because their strike is not based on conditions of service by and large. It is not precipitated by any other factor, but it is precipitated primarily with their disagreement and opposition to the appointment of Dr. Eric Nkansa to serve as the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, which they reject too. And I believe they have proffered very reasonable arguments to justify their decision to oppose that appointment. So for me, if the appointing authority, in this case the president, who acted in making this appointment upon the recommendation of the sector minister, wants to end this strike, he can just do it by a simple pronouncement. I mean, I cannot see why 400,000 teachers have to leave the classroom to the detriment of over 8 million students and pupils because of one appointment that has been made, which the teacher unions deem to be unacceptable as far as their standards are concerned. Yes, the arguments have been made that there is no law and that perhaps, nobody has the power to challenge the president's authority in appointing. Well and good. But when you are functioning within the space of stakeholders, where you know that there are elements within the space who also have interests, who are professionals, one of the things you ought to do is always do some background diligent work to ensure that whoever you are going to bring on board is generally acceptable to principally those who are in the middle of that theater. And this is the about 400,000 teachers. That was not done. And I believe if that was done, mindful of the sensitivities that greeted the ouster of the former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Pokwa Mankwa, we will not be here.